don't watch it.
I'm at work, too.
I'm not just sitting at home watching. I got big things to... I tape them sometimes. I've been known to tape them, but purely for... All right, Martin Clunes, Newsweek ran this cover story very recently called London Rules, claiming London is now cooler than L.A., New York, or Paris. And I'm just curious if it was true and if you are all, in fact, very hip and happening in London.
I don't know. I've lived there all my life. Just over the last 3 years, I've really, really got to love it, but I couldn't tell you why. That news...
You're very tied into the community, Martin.
That Newsweek article went on and on and on about a club called the Ministry of Sound, which is in London, and the Ministry of Sound basically plays very hardcore kind of rave music, kind of dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, and I think you might as well dance around a car alarm, personally.
Yes.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
In fact, the car...
Absolutely loved it.
Did you?
Yeah, I got the biggest speaker I could find and stood this far away. It's great.
That's nice.
It's good, yeah.
Right. Have you had an opportunity to work over there? A lot of your plays have been produced over there, right?
I've done 2 plays over there, yeah. I'm working on a movie with Nick Heitner. I mean, I've spent a lot of time. Do you know Nick Heitner? He directed The Madness of King George.
Oh. I've got Die Hard 3 on tape. If anybody ever...
Can I say that they had
Martin,
to
please.
change the title of that film? Did you know?
Yeah,
for American audiences, because...
What was the title of...
The play that the film was taken from was called The Madness of King George II, which, when it's King George, I said they put 2 eyes like that, so like 2, like that, and they went, well, hey, I didn't see the first. Well, I want to go see the sequel for. It happened. It's true.
I just want to mention Martin's security entourage is waiting for him.
It's a big man with a cane.
Well, let's get into that. That brings up an interesting point in that the disparity between the cultures and what we think is funny and what Britain might think is funny, and that comedy in America, very big business, and along with McDonald's, it's become a major export to Britain. We've sent Cheers, Roseanne, Seinfeld, Larry Sanders, and Friends. Apologies for the last one, by the way. Not our fault, but get used to it. It'll be another 10 years before that thing goes off the air. Do you really like that show?
We like Friends.
Well, all right. But we've also been importing British comedy, too, with American versions of Men Behaving Badly, which is Martin's show over in Britain, and One Foot in the Grave, currently airing. So do we laugh at the same things? We asked some people on the street.
As far as British TV is concerned, personally, I find it to be kind of dry. You know, I don't find it to be, too humorous at all.
With Americans, I'll drive along, crack a few jokes, and they don't even smile. They sort of look at me and say, what's he talking about?
Yes, I think we laugh at different things because we're different. You have more in common, really, with Europe than with Americans. And Americans are very provincial. We don't like sex. We don't like old people. We don't like unsafe. We don't like mortality. We don't like people that remind us of icky parts. We don't like poor people.
You haven't forgotten, we're going to Ronnie and Mildred's tonight.
I try to forget we're going to Ronnie and Mildred's tonight, like you try to forget you're going to die, but it doesn't work.
Since you're not going to the wedding, I'm going to treat you and take you to your favorite restaurant.
Mario's?
Yes, indeed.
That's your favorite restaurant.
But when I'm happy, you're happy.
You like to tell the truth with, a great working class comedy. We don't really generally like to know how people really make their living.
You know the wings on aeroplanes?
Yeah.
I make them.
What's going to be big in aeroplane design, then?
Oh, everything's going to be fatter and more pointy.
Oh, hey, Sherry.
Hi, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going with Mr. Wonderful?
Great. He's going to pick me up in a few minutes.
What a guy, what a guy. Listen, I need your help. I'm trying to plan a romantic night with Sarah. And I just need a little help with the romantic part.
I don't know, Kevin. Romance is something you have to do yourself.
That's true, although it can be just as satisfying with a partner.
I like Benny Hill because he does a lot of things that normally people wouldn't do.
Benny Hill.
I'm only familiar with Benny Hill.
Benny Hill? I like when he slaps the little bald guy on the head. He's funny.
You know the way he always pets the bald-headed man on the head like this?
Is Benny Hill your ambassador of funny?
I hope so.
It would appear so.
I very much hope so, particularly with the slap head as well. I like that
he's
very
the
much.
only one you bought without changing.
Yeah. I like the fact that that guy on the tape said he does things that people wouldn't normally do. Actually, in Britain, all the time, naked women are running through parks with guys chasing them at double quick time and a saxophone playing all the time.
Right. Now, why is it your show, Men Behaving Badly, it performs very well in Britain. Have you seen the American version of that? Why would they buy that? Why not just take your show and sell it over here?
Because we smoke, we drink, we swear, we live in a dirty apartment.
So I'll come over and watch it with you. But why not? Why not just?
No, the lady at Carsey Werner, you know, those that make the decision.
You know, it has stuff in it that isn't in British sitcom. Like, there's always that bit in American sitcom, 5 minutes before the end, where you go, well, we've had some laughs, but hey, we can cry too.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, you
and
just
we never
gotta go out there and tell her you love her.
Yeah, we just.
Do you agree that the Americans really don't like to laugh at old people and mortality and all the things that Karen Mandeback of Carsey Werner was saying? Do we like our comedy sanitized? Beautiful people having beautiful fun?
I think you're right. I think that you'd laugh at it for 20 minutes, but then in the last 10 minutes you'd have to have learned a lesson and say, you know, old people aren't funny, really.
Right.
Of course they are.
Yes, exactly. So I don't think it's that. I think they would laugh at the same things, but at the end there would have to be some sort of, the music would come on, there'd be some sort of sentimental something or another, and everyone would grow closer together.
Do you think that's because I know that they don't just randomly decide this is what the American people like. They have these test audiences, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to listen to these people say, oh, I'll go test that. You know,
I don't know what your experience in America has been so far.
Fantastic. I love it.
But you've got to get out of the Waffle Houses, because your basic experience here.
I actually think that the TV acting Masterpiece Theatre, many of the other British BBC productions are just better acted than many of those that I have witnessed on American TV. I'm not putting down American actors. I think our movies are terrific.
Right.
But TV, I think the British have it all over us.
I think that's changing a lot, though, because you notice people going, you know, from drama schools and things will go directly to L.A. Like people, David Hyde Pierce, the guy in Frasier. He was in a play of mine on Broadway, and then he got Frasier. And people like that, those are first-rate actors and you know, first-rate writers who were doing that.
Now, why haven't you gone into sitcom work, then? I'm sure they've approached you constently to take your stuff to the sitcoms. Why wouldn't you do that?
I sort of think of myself as the queen of the four-figure deal. I'm... you know, I don't know. Also, you know, when you write, four. So, wow. No, I mean, it's different when you write, you know, comedy for television. You're writing with a team of writers and stuff. When you're writing plays, you're writing alone. It's just a different thing. But you begin to see, I mean, more and more, you know, great writers, great actors.
Now, that brings up an interesting point, though, because you say when you're writing plays, you're writing alone. For many British shows, they are conceived and written by only one person, or two people at the most, whereas the American shows are more of a team of writers. Now,
but that's partly because your shows, most your sitcoms go on for sort of 20 programs in a run. And
well, they try and get the only way to make money for American sitcom people is to get it into syndication, and you have to do 100 shows. It has to run for 4 or 5 years for it to really turn a profit. So they try and design it for that. And what about?
We do 7 a year. It takes 8 weeks.
You do 7 a year?
Yeah.
Now, is the money commensurate to what it is in America? Like the cast of Friends just renegotiated $100,000 each.
That's where your
per
bitterness
episode.
comes from.
What is
That's where your bitterness about Friends comes from.
No,
is it?
no, not at all.